Welcome to 2024, folks. This apparently is a trend now. Flashback a year ago, and I was pretty on board with the idea of a public domain IP getting a horror spin-off, which is fully within the realms of legality thanks to, copyright changes. I really liked the idea of Winnie Pooh, Blood and Honey. I loved the idea when I saw it as a trailer, and even 10, 11 months later, I was still praising it because I hadn't actually seen it. What I didn't realize about this old Winnie the Pooh slasher fun project is that it actually was just that. Slasher. With minimal creativity beyond these are humans and they have knives. Literally just a rip-off of Mike Myers, you know? And from what I've heard from other people, I still haven't gotten around to seeing this movie, it's apparently terribly made in all regards. The budget is practically non-existent, and it's just not even good horror, which really is the biggest disappointment, making it seem all the more legitimate that the only people that can actually make good content is Disney, no amateur with a dream or anything. But now that the years keep trucking on and another 100 years have passed for somebody else, Steamboat Willie is out to the public domain, and within hours of this New Year's start, literally hours in, we have multiple trailers for horror-related Mickey Mouse content. Now, specifically, Mickey Mouse is still very much under the Disney copyright wing. You can't show him with, the colors and all that, but the black and white version, you absolutely can. And technically, there's even been some interesting artistic analyses of the original Steamboat Willie cartoon, describing it more as some sort of animal body horror, because they do all sorts of creepy, old school cartoon physics with things. It's very Fleischer style, if I'm allowed to say that about a Disney project. And actually, that has a really interesting development for horror ideas. Having this strange character that's willing to attack anything it sees just to see what happens to entertain some invisible masses, that's almost, interesting. That's not what we're getting, though. Enter Mickey's Mousetrap. Yes, it's a nice wordplay on the titling, yeah. But this, not even the trailer looks good. I was fooled by Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey. This looks as cheap as it is, This is so Slenderman coded. Seeming to have a little bit of a Willy's Wonderland kind of vibe, I guess. It's about a bunch of teenagers. They're stuck in like a little Chuck E. Cheese type place. There's Mickey. He's not actually a mouse, like I think Winnie the Pooh was trying to establish. They were trying to suggest they were the animals. They're just bipedal, I guess. But no, this is clearly just a guy wearing his mask with a knife. It is so unoriginal, and that's really disappointing. I'm on board with making horrors out of IPs that have copyrights attached to them that have now been taken away. I love the idea of anybody being able to finally get their grasp on something that's been so gilded and held to the elite up to this point. It only took a century to pass. But I'm so disappointed that it's not looking good, I want a good horror out of this. You can even do so many other artsy things. What if you replicated the Steamboat Willie aesthetic? You went back to amateurs doing hand-drawn animation. It still exists in corners of the world still, giving us an actual horrific version of Steamboat Willie in the old school style, There could be so many interesting directions you could actually take the black and white Mickey Mouse aesthetic to go forward, even not in animation, just a good horror around it somehow. I think Stinky Pete is also within the public domain now as well. But no, this is just a dude with a knife. But of course, on the other side of things, I have a healthy collection of accolades of watching and reviewing all sorts of terrible movies as well. So maybe this is a blessing in disguise for me and me alone. Now I've got 2 terrible IP horrors to cover. Apparently also, Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey is getting a sequel, and this next one has an actual budget of $1 million. $1 million's not necessarily the most in the world in the movie sphere, but the original Saw was done on $1.2 million, and that's like iconically well made, amateur, but really, really smart, good horror. It influenced the entire horror genre, I'm not saying I have hopes for Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey 2, but at least, I want to have a hope, I guess. And on the Mickey Mouse front, that's not even the only horror trailer there is, as at the exact same time, practically, they're also getting a horror in the video game sphere. Thank you for making it halfway through this video. If you're liking it so far, do subscribe. With us clearly looking at a whole bunch of unoriginal horrors right now, let me know what you would like to see as an interesting creative IP. Show me that there is creativity out there. Feel free to let us know down in the comments below or on our Discord server. Otherwise, back to the depths of the industry. And this one's even more dramatic because it's already had its first controversy in a way I had no idea could even happen. I don't know any of this corner of crypticisms, but apparently it's there. Originally called Infestation 88, which is a very dodgy title because of the use of the number 88, which apparently is a Nazi dog whistle for basically saying Hail Hitler, because Hail Hitler is H-hate. 88 is code for H-hate because H is the 8th letter in the alphabet, and it is code that actual neo-Nazis use to secretly send out their message. Add on to the fact that this game is obviously focusing on like a horror version of Mickey, but apparently especially it deals with a rat infestation by using gas. Again, making correlations to the Nazi movements, using rats as an allegory for Jewish people, not to mention the connection to actual gas. I don't know if this was a series of unfortunate events, because that is quite the deep rabbit hole cut, but I mean, if actual neo-Nazis use this kind of language, oh my god, what an oof. So yeah, now it's called Infestation Origins. But there it is. I actually think this horror Mickey looks better than the movie one. Like, I just like the modeling. Like, the movie one is clearly just a guy with a mask, like last time. But, I like this. This is what I imagined when I imagined a horror Steamboat Willie, you know? Why does it have to be racist? I really hope that's just a bad mistake. And so now I'm at a bit of a crossroads. I really like the idea of horrors based off of public domain IPs, but one of them looks absolutely god-awful, and the other ones, well, I just told you. I think it's a real disappointing low point for artistic cinema literally within like the first day of the year. But it's clearly not a trend that's going to stop, and hey, maybe there's more interesting directions. Maybe someone is working on a hand-drawn Steamboat Willie, just obviously gonna take a little bit of time, you know? Or similarly, there could be other genres based off of these IPs. Maybe there's a really good romance out there between Stinky Pete and Steamboat Willie. Who knows? I don't know. Do a crossover event with Winnie the Pooh and grayscale Mickey Mouse. Like, why not? You know, there's a lot of opportunities. It's nice to see creativity being allowed in a free-flowing form. Just means that sometimes everybody gets opportunities to be creative, and that's not always the best outcome. Now, with the terrible movie version, Mickey's Mousetrap, that is set to be released in March this year. So it's also really quickly made. They were clearly making this when it wasn't legal, but hey, a release is a release. And what we have on the marketing front for quotations of, you know, the optimism behind it, we have from the director, Jamie Bailey, saying, "We just wanted to have fun with it all. I mean, it's Steamboat Willie's Mickey Mouse murdering people. It's ridiculous. We ran with it and had fun doing it. And I think it shows." Fair enough. I hope it's good. I ain't got high hopes. But hey, if they end up making a sequel out of it, out of pure, you know, attention, and it gives them $1 million to make another, I guess go for it. Maybe eventually these will slowly snowball into better and better productions, you know? I don't know. After all, with Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey as our only real reference, that was originally created on just $100,000. And then turned around to 5.2 million. So it is a lucrative industry. And as for Infestation Origins, the actual details say that in the year 1988, what was thought to be an outbreak of rodents in various locations morphed into something far more sinister. And then it's kind of your classic, you know, Amnesia-esque fight, but against Mickey Mouse. Is Amnesia a deep cut? Similarly, on another side of controversy that I don't really see being mentioning all too much with Infestation Origins, is that there's voiceover that appears to be made entirely using AI rather than hiring voice actors. This is being done by 11 Labs, who have also done this with previous games as well, and gets into all sorts of controversies for that. But basically, this is a text-to-speech service, so you just type it in and it will make it for you. When, you know, you can easily just get a voice actor within a day, if less than that, to make something for you. But, you know, it's the industry. It's where we're going. Welcome to the future. Oh, and as I'm understanding it, this is even a free service anybody can use, as long as you use less than 333 characters. Then it's free. Of course, this could just be for the trailer. They're trying to do something quick, cheap, and easy as an indie studio. We'll see. They do cut a lot of other corners. There's a lot of stock assets apparently shown in their gameplay, so who knows? Is this, again, an amateur doing the best with the services they have, or is it someone trying to, you know, make something when they could really be using, you know, talent to actually pay for the service that they're bringing? Supposedly, they're planning to hire real voice actors in the future, but didn't for the announcement trailer due to time constraints. Well, I only get more disappointed the more I hear about these things. with the game version also coming out sometime in 2024. Who knows when? I wonder if some other shovelware will get there faster. I really like the idea of horrors based on public domain IPs, but these two clearly show that this isn't it. It's a burgeoning industry, it's a lucrative industry, it is creativity devoid, which is almost the exact opposite of what you'd hope out of a public domain release. I guess all the quality stuff is slowly brewing and years away, but for now, within 6 hours of the new year, we get this. Well, at least it's fun to enjoy terrible content too, if I even want to help financially support one of them. For now though, I'd best end it off there. My name's been Daz. You didn't really care. Let me know your thoughts. What would you do? Tell me something creative you would do with the Steamboat Willie IP. I'm sick of hearing horror, guy, it's just a human with a knife. Give me something creative. Tell me all your fantastical ideas, because you can now. I want to hear something actually creative. Please, please, give me something new. I want to have hope that there are amateurs out there that can think of something more than what if scary. And I'll see you in a little bit.